It's Hump Day.
Hump Day!
It's Hump Day.
Hump Day!
Hey everybody, welcome to Hump Day Hangouts, episode 62. We got almost the full crew here, so just go through and say hello on this fine 13th day of January 2016. How's it going, Hernan?
Hey Adam, hey everyone, it's really good to be here.
Hey Marco, what's up?
Hey everybody, what's up? I couldn't stay away, man.
Hey Bradley, what's up?
Hey guys, happy Hump Day.
Yeah. Well, before I get into the less important announcements, I wanted to share with everybody my Christmas present from Bradley. So
That's a good one.
I got this sweet shirt in the mail when I got back from my holiday travels, so I had to share that. Let's see. So for real announcements, we wanted to let everybody know we've been talking about this for a while based on our content and the amount of information we have, as well as what's all involved in the mastermind. The price will be increasing on the mastermind to $297 a month. Right now it's $197, so that's 2 weeks from today. So after the Hump Day Hangout on the 27th, the price will go up to $297. So if you've been on the fence, or if you want to check it out, whatever it is, I highly advise you do that. It's going to go again from $197 to $297 in 2 weeks. All right.
Yeah, and let me elaborate on that for just a moment. And the reason why is because we continue to add more and more stuff to the mastermind, including additional, separate courses that are coming out that we've all, for example, Twitter SEO Academy, which is part of RYS Academy, but we also release that as a separate product, and mastermind members get that. Masterclass, the format of that has changed recently, and so that's again more like webinars, Q&A, hot seat, site audits or property audits, marketing audits, whatever you want to call them, and that's included in Mastermind as well. So the value is going way up, and then we've also got the additional stuff that's coming out, including IFTTT version 2.0, which is going to be a subscription-based product. There may be a front end where it's a one-time fee, but it's probably going to be subscription-based because we're going to be supporting it a hell of a lot more than we and so that's going to be included as well. So the value keeps going up as our library and archives continue to grow, and more products get added, and as mastermind members you get all of that stuff included. Unless it's over $300, in which case you get a 30% discount, and then also, first crack at all products that get launched or services, beta testers, testing pricing on some stuff. So all of that said, Mastermind's going up. We've actually been told we're crazy to give away as much as we do for the price that we have, and so we're listening. So. If you're thinking about it, do it now. If you're not in a position where you're ready to do it yet, then don't. We'll be here when you're ready. It just might cost you more. So.
Yeah, and so while that's news about a price going up, Bradley asked that we keep the Masterclass half-off link working, so we turned it back on. If you're looking to hop into the Masterclass, this is going to be running for a week, maybe two. So if you're interested in doing that, I'm going to pop the link in here, and you can get your first month half price for the Masterclass. Actually, I'm going to do that right now.
Yeah, and that as well. That's going to stay at that price point for a while. We also got a lot of really good feedback when we were going to shut it down, and then we did a brief survey to the Masterclass members, and we had an 87% response rate saying that everybody wanted us to keep it open, and we changed the format, and so now it's like more advanced Q&A stuff. It's kind of like again between like what we can talk about here at Hump Day and what we do at Mastermind, but also the site audits and the hot seats and everything. But one of the suggestions that we got, because in the survey there was a box where we asked people to put a comment, and one of the suggestions that we got was that I thought was really good was to do some in-depth live demonstrations of some of the tools that we use, and that's something that I want to work into the masterclass. Start going through some of the tools that we use and actually how to use them and how we use them, because I think that's going to be beneficial for you guys, our audience. So again, if you want to check that out, you can get in half price for the first month to check it out, and that's $97 a month. So it's $48.50, I guess, for the first month.
Mm-hmm. Correct. All right, and then just to remind everybody, head over to SearchSpace and sign up. If you don't have an account, it's free to sign up, and check that out. Put the link in there so you can just hop over to that. On a quick kind of housekeeping note for Hump Day Hangouts, I'm going to ask that you guys try to keep your questions somewhat short. We've been getting a lot of really long answers that are really involved and sometimes not personal, but dealing with like someone's specific situation. We're happy to answer them. We're not saying no, but we are going to have to look at kind of restructuring how we do Hump Day Hangouts if we keep getting these answers, because we are going to take them in order. We're not changing it today. We're going to keep going. But we are getting a lot of these questions that are really involved and take a long time to answer. And again, we're happy to do it, but we're realizing too that some people aren't getting their questions answered because we keep coming back sometimes to the same topic or to the same people. So one of the things we may look at doing is answering one question per person. And then if you have multiple questions, that's great. If we make it through and we have extra time, we'll hop back down and be happy to answer more. But today we're going to keep rolling. We just want to bring that up kind of as a, be courteous type thing. If you're asking 6 questions that, you may want to look at that and say, hey, can I trim this down, or, do something like that so we can, share with everybody, because everybody really benefits from this.
Yeah, so just, be mindful of others, guys, and keep the questions succinct. If you've got multiple questions, that's fine. Then attend live and post your first question whenever, and then attend live and then post your questions after we've answered one and we've gotten a chance to answer a couple other questions. Then post it live and we'll get to it in order. Or if you want to post them all, and the problem is we're getting these long essay questions. I don't have a problem answering them, but it can take away from potentially other people. And it's especially if it's the same people over and over again answering long questions, then it's going to deter other people from attending, and that's really what we don't want. Okay, it's totally cool that you're asking questions, but if you're going to ask long questions or multiple questions in one fell swoop, then just we'll probably answer the first question and then move on, and if we can, we'll jump back, provided we run through whatever else is on the page at during the actual call. So anyways, just be respectful, guys, and that way that we can keep this community going and get have new people attend, and it's not just the same people every time, because that's part of the reason why we have these. So
I was going to say too, and it's not just for us; it's also for the community. It's the idea of getting multiple people, multiple viewpoints, and different information. Just by answering other people's questions, we learn, but as well, the viewers get to learn about other problems, but also other solutions to problems you probably either have or are going to come across in the future.
Right. So.
All right. Yeah, that's it on my end.
Cool.
So, do we have any more announcements, guys?
Hernan, did you have anything?
No, I think we're fine. We covered it all. Mm-hmm.
Marco, we can all congratulate him. He's closing on a new house this week.
All right.
So we can congratulate.
Sweet.
So good for him.
Next, he's just got to close on fast internet. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, let me grab the screen and we'll get into it. We got lots to do. Where the hell's there? It is. And I'm going to lock it on me so it doesn't bounce around a lot like it always does. All right. So here we go. We're going to get into these. We've got a bunch of them. Sky says, I'm curious if embedded iframe content would help rank a page. I found a niche. Is this the right? Yeah, okay. Just want to make sure. This sounds very familiar. If I found a niche-related video with very strong signals, would anything pass my webpage? Yes, of course, Sky. It absolutely will help, especially if it's niche-related. Preferably if it's got the keyword in the title that you're trying to rank for, or one that's very similar, anyways. And yeah, I mean, just a video that has, like, if it's a video that has 3 views, it's not going to be as beneficial to your page as one that has thousands of views and lots of likes and lots of comments, right? It's still that whole social activity thing that you're embedding right in on your page, even though the comments and stuff don't show up. The video itself is popular, and if it's the relevancy is key. That's the most important thing. But having a video that's popular is very beneficial as well. So. Would embedding Google Docs or linking from a Google Doc be any benefit for passing trust flow? Of course, a la RYS Academy. If you haven't checked that out, check it out. That's all about using Google Drive for ranking stuff, ranking shit, I should say. And and we've got case studies in there and everything else, and it works beautifully. Okay, that's using Google's own properties to help you rank your stuff. All right, and that's RYS Academy. Were you going to chime in?
No, I was about to say that. Yeah, it works really, really well.
He said, I made a mistake and did a press release service which links to a subdomain. Now the citation flow is really high, domain wide, and trust flow is low. I'm watching my rankings tumble. Really? Huh. That's interesting because press releases don't give you the best trust flow. You're right. They'll increase your citation flow, and typically the trust flow it doesn't help your trust flow any. But it's very natural to have press release links, inbound links from a bunch of different press releases. It's a good way to balance out your inbound link profile and to give you IP diversity, domain diversity. And you're right. It can affect your trust flow, but it's something that you can recover by continuing to link from relevant sources back to your site over time. Again, I think having press releases is as part of a natural link profile, and I think it's one of the things that I do for all my sites.
Yeah, I was about to say that if you made a mistake because you're wanting to rank the homepage Sky, you can always trigger that subdomain to the homepage. You know what I mean? So you are using the subdomain kind of a switch box kind of thing. So you can try that. Go ahead and try that. Trigger on the subdomain and see where it lands. That's what I would do.
Yeah, and then again, you can manipulate trust flow too, guys. I mean, that's stuff we talk about in the mastermind, but there's a lot of things that you can do to manipulate that as well. Using drive stacks, Google Drive stacks, or RYS stacks as we call them, that's one way. But there's multiple ways to manipulate trust flow as well. So, if your trust flow tanks a bit after doing a press release, which can happen, then you just got to work on increasing it again. But again, I think it's actually good because it'll give you that diverse inbound link profile that will help to pillow your site so that when you are building other links, you don't have to worry so much about an imbalance or leaving a footprint. Okay. Mark says, hi guys, hope you're doing well. Got some questions. Would you or have you ever ranked a video that the potential client was not aware of and then contacted to see if they would like to get the ranking? Yes, Mark. That's how I started off. I did lead gen first, but then when I started actually contacting clients or to do client consulting, when I opened up my agency, that was one of the first ways that I actually would contact people. I would rank something for them, and then with their branding and everything. I don't recommend doing that now because I would rather do something generic that I could use to redirect to any potential client, but I had done it in the past. Where I would even put their branding on the video and everything and then send them a video email explaining what it was, hey, look, check this out. Here's a video ranked for a keyword that you're interested in. It's got your branding on it. Would you want to keep it? And I landed some clients that way. But the problem with that is if you don't end up getting the client, then you've actually done work for them. Even you can pull it down. That's not a problem, but you've wasted that effort is my point. So you're better off just keeping something generic with a redirect phone number, a virtual phone number, and a redirect URL inside the video that you can redirect to anywhere. And then when you call the client or send them a video email, which was my preferred method, I was always I don't like cold calling, never did, never will. So I would send video emails, but you could have the phone number redirected to their phone number and the URL redirected to them, so that when you send them a video email, you could tell them, hey, check this out. You see this video ranked for this keyword that you'd be interested in because this is a product or service you provide. Well, check it out. Call that phone number. It'll ring your own phone. Or click the URL in the description. It'll click to your website. Would you be interested in keeping these rankings? Or keeping this video? If not, then you can redirect to somebody else. Which, by the way, you could mention that in that when you contact them. Hey, if you're not interested, that's fine. I can contact your competitor down the street. Be a little bit more diplomatic about how you say it, but you give them that. You kind of nudge that scarcity, and especially. In the industries I worked in, or the home services and contracting industries, that was very effective. So. Yep.
Yeah, I was about to say that it's not about commoditizing your services. That's rare. That's something rare that they can get access right there and then. Otherwise, they need to hire an SEO agency, to do the entire thing. But that's a rare asset that they can get right there and then. So if you can position it like that, you will sell a ton more.
Yep. And again, that way you haven't wasted any effort. If you've got something that's ranked, then you can redirect it to the highest bidder or the first person to raise their hand, whatever comes first, right? And that way, if you try to do it something specifically for a particular client, you'll probably Not probably. You can impress them a bit more that way, often if you have their own branding on it, but it's wasted effort if they say no. And you got to be efficient with your time. So, the next question: have you ever ranked a website that you were able to monetize with only non-juice networks and good on-page SEO? Yes, Mark. Depends on the level of competition. Same question for video. Yeah, of course. It depends on the level of competition. But yeah, I mean, there's some industries that you can get into that all you need is some good on-page SEO, and you can rank for them with literally no backlinks or no off-page SEO at all. And then there's sometimes you can rank a website, and it's the same for videos too. But sometimes you can rank them, with just the on-page itself, you can get to the top, the middle or top of page 2, and then with just a little nudge of a little bit of off-page SEO, you can get them to page 1. And so that's why we use things like SERPshaker or Lead Gadget or Hangout Millionaire, things like that we can test multiple keywords across multiple locations very, very quickly with nothing other than on-page SEO. And then we can track that to determine with the ones that surface near the top or rise near the top, the first page within the top, I'd say 15 results or so, with absolutely no off-page SEO. Then we can go target those and prepare or build more traditional style properties, whether that's YouTube videos or web pages or web 2s or whatever, that we optimize and put a little bit more care into and rank with little to no work. Guys, always go after the easy stuff, right? Go after the low-hanging fruit. Why work yourself to death when you can generate revenue from stuff that's easy, right? So again, that's why SERPshaker is a great plugin for that, because you can create multiple pages across, hundreds or even thousands of pages across multiple cities if you're doing local specifically. For video, Hangout Millionaire is a perfect app for that. So and ATM, the Lead Gadget and the ATM, that's just like an industrial strength SERPshaker. It does the same thing. It builds 30,000 post websites all in one go. So, but they're great for. I use those more for market research than I do to actually monetize those sites. I know a lot of people make a lot of money with those sites, and that's great. I like to use them for market research, and then for local stuff especially, because then I can go in and actually develop more permanent type properties based on the ones that I've identified as being the low-hanging fruit. All right. Next question: what do you do if you ever get a client whose site isn't built with WordPress? Do you hire a web designer, or do you learn to use PHP and HTML? And if the site is a mess, do you still take them on as a client? Thanks. No, I don't. If it's not WordPress, I tell them flat out, we're either going to install a WordPress on a subdomain so that I can do all of my SEO work from the subdomain on a WordPress platform, or I tell them flat out, all I'll do is off-page SEO for you. I'm not doing any on-page.
Right.
That's it. So.
Yeah, the problem with that is that you do not have complete control on your results, and usually people, business owners or your client will complain if you're not delivering results, and you cannot work with half of an SEO.
Right.
You need to work with the entire SEO strategy, which includes more now than ever on-site SEO.
That's right. Yeah, and I mean, I'll tell them flat out, like, look, I can provide off-page SEO services, but I'm not promising rankings or results, because I need to have access to the on-page issues need to be taken care of, or else I can't guarantee you or promise you any results. You know what I'm saying? So I'll tell them I can do link building, and I can give you suggestions on content marketing ideas, and we can use the content to try to drive traffic. But as far as ranking your website, if I have no control over the on-page, and I'm certainly not going to learn some other platform. I've had that happen many times where clients have had stuff on other platforms, and they've said, well, hey, can you? And I tell them no, because it's not worth it to learn how to optimize one particular platform for one particular client. That's not the best use of my time. If they paid me enough, I guess I would, but for most of the time, they don't want to pay me that much. So I just say, no, we'll put a WordPress blog on a subdomain, and we'll do all of our content distribution and optimization from there. Right. Kevin says, when 301ing an expired domain to our money site, exactly how close to the expired domain links topically need to be? It depends, Kevin. Depends on what you're trying to accomplish. But he says, I have a truck financing site and I get a general automotive trust flow domain. Would that be okay to 301? Yeah, that wouldn't be bad because it's in the same ballpark. Also, would it be okay if the expired domain has a European TLD, but with automotive trust flow? Yeah, I still think that would be okay. But if you're nervous at all, so if you're gonna, and we had this discussion in the mastermind, Kevin. I know you're not in the mastermind yet, but we actually had this discussion in the mastermind like literally this week. Somebody was asking something very similar to this, and when I don't do very many direct 301s to money site unless it's 100% topical trust flow relevant. That's what I look for. It has to be like literally 100% relevant in order for me to do a direct 301 to the money site. If I'm in the same ballpark, or if I'm just looking to push trust flow and I'm not really worried too much about the actual topical relevancy, but that should be your key deciding factor, is you can use a buffer site instead. So, for example, you could buy a domain that has topical trust flow that's 100% aligned or in line with what you're wanting to link to, your money site, okay, and build a PBN style site on that, because now it's a highly themed PBN style site that you can have a do follow link from that site to your money site. Then you can redirect any other domains that you purchase that are same ballpark or just have high trust flow numbers but not the same topical relevancy to the PBN site. So instead of going direct to your money site, you're using a site that has topical trust flow specific to your money site as kind of a buffer. And that way you're not linking with unrelated links directly to your money site. You're linking to a site that is topically relevant to your site first. Does that make sense? Hopefully that was clear. Okay. Changing the subject, but could you elaborate on how to use a noindex PBN properly? I have a .ws expired domain with PA 2618 trust flow, citation flow, 16 to 33 with like 160,000 backlinks, and I'm trying to figure out how to best use this to help push my truck finance site. It's on page 2, or it's IFTTT properties.
I wouldn't use it as a tier 1.
No.
Because it has way too many backlinks. I wouldn't use it as a tier 1. You can noindex and power up a tier 2. That's more of mastermind stuff. So yeah, jump into the mastermind.
Yeah, yeah. So, I would only use it to link to a tier 1 property, not direct to the money site.
Yeah, because guys, remember when you're using a noindex PBN, it has to be quality. It doesn't matter that it's noindex. It has to be real quality. It's still a tier 1 link. You're just hiding from Google or from your competitors for that matter, and remember that Google cannot de-index something that's not indexed,
right.
So just so you know.
Okay, Ed says, hey guys, still a bit confused on the ferret recipe. Ed, you're killing me. I'm going to walk through this. I actually saw this question come up earlier, so I'm going to walk you through this real quick on how to do this, but I'm not sure where you're getting hung up on this. Let me finish reading the question. How to set one up so can a favorite an older video to syndicate through an entire new IFTTT network. I understand the concept somewhat about logging in from the channel. I would give a thumbs up on to trigger the recipe, ultimately sending the older video through my new IFTTT network. If you have time, could you do a live demo on this call using IFTTT? Okay. All right. So here I am in IFTTT. This is my account, bradleybenner.com. I set one up earlier just to show you how to do it, or just to show you that it works, okay? And because I don't want to have to take the time to go through setting everything up. But this is all you know what, let's do this. I'll show you how to do it with WordPress. So I'm going to say if this, I'm going to say YouTube. By the way, this, let's go back for a second. If we take a look at the channels inside of IFTTT, I'm going to say YouTube. I'm going to click on this. You can see that I have Semantic Mastery YouTube channel connected to this. So let's say this is my new network. Let's say on Bradley Benner's channel. In fact, we're going to use Mastery PR. Mastery PR is our new affiliate division that I'm working on building right now, actually. And so we're going to use that as in your case, Ed, the old channel, with the videos on that you want to re-syndicate to the new network. Okay, so think of Mastery PR as your old network, the old YouTube channel that has existing videos that you want to re-syndicate to the new network. Okay, this is the new network. In this case, it's Semantic Mastery. Okay, so you see that's the channel. So let's go back to my recipes. I'm going to create a recipe. I'm going to select if this. I'm going to say YouTube. And I'm going to select new liked video as my trigger. Create trigger. Then that. Now I'm going to select WordPress because I already set it up for Tumbler. So let's go to WordPress. Okay? Now I'm going to say create a post. Click there. Now, the title is going to say liked on YouTube. Title, I don't like that. I just want it to say title. And then it's going to say title, description via YouTube URL. I'd like to put the embed code in here. Let's do this. Since the title's already there, let's just put the embed code right there. It's a little bit easier with Tumbler, but let's go with that. We'll add ingredient, and hopefully WordPress didn't change anything, and this should work. Description, if you want the description, I personally don't want the description, so I'm just going to say embed code break via YouTube URL. I'm going to get rid of this IFTTT tag. You can leave YouTube. I'm okay with that. And then I'm going to select create action, and then I'm going to click create recipe. Okay. So now I'm logged in. You can see my icon up here, guys. I'm logged in as Semantic Mastery in my YouTube channel. Right. This is the YouTube channel that I'm going to trigger by liking a video from this channel. So now I'm going to go find a video on Mastery PR. Let's go to the actual channel because I just liked the video earlier. Let's go to this one. All right, so here we are on a video from Mastery PR. This is the channel that now I want to like a video. And just to show you that this doesn't already exist, let me go to WordPress.com. Let's see. It looks like I've still got. Oh, this is our drunk video from from Miami. I should have changed that. All right. So bradleybenner.wordpress.com. You see what's on here right now? Let me make sure that that's part of that IFTTT network. It should be, but right here. Yep, that's it. All right. So now we're on this. I'm going to go ahead and click the like button. See? Now I've liked it as Semantic Mastery. This is a different channel. All right. So now I'm going to come back over to IFTTT. We can see that it says created less than a minute ago, never run. I want to click check now. And IFTTT is being slow. It says last run less than a minute ago, run one time. We come back over here, we're going to refresh the page. There's the video, guys, syndicated to to this network. Does that make sense? So it's that simple. That's how easy it is. You have to go into IFTTT. You have to set up a new recipe for all the properties in your network. It's going to be the trigger is a YouTube new liked video, and then you just set up the rest of the recipe just like you would anything else. You can customize this however you want, and then all you do is make sure you're logged in to that YouTube channel that's connected to this syndication network here, and then just go like the videos. That's it, and it's done. So you see that this one's done. I did this one earlier. This is on my Tumblr blog. I liked this one earlier. This was about maybe an hour ago that I did this. We click on that. You can see that this is from the Mastery PR channel, and that's on the Tumblr blog. Right? So it's that simple, guys. Just set up a like video recipe and trigger it that way. All right, so we're going to move on. Can the same network and associated YouTube channel for favoriting or liking older videos also be used for new video uploads? Sure it can, Ed. It absolutely can. So guys, think about that though. You know, you can create a whole separate network, and especially if you're just doing YouTube stuff, make it a tiered network that you connect to a channel that you use specifically just for liking and resyndicating videos as a way to give other videos that have already been pushed out to other networks a boost. You could have specifically a like network. It wouldn't necessarily have to be themed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could have it would just be a supporting or a supplemental network that you could set up with the tiers, the full two-tier network. You could actually stack multiple networks on top of that same YouTube channel. So, for example, you could have 4 or 5 full two-tiered networks connected to one YouTube channel that you use only to like videos that you want to resyndicate. So if you have a themed or niche-based channel and network already, and you still need some additional SEO push after originally syndicating, you just go like it with your like channel and your like network, and it will push it back out across multiple networks again, depending on, I mean, the sky's the limit. You can stack as many networks as you want on that one YouTube channel, but it's a great way to give it an additional push, right? Just checking because I currently have the IFTTT recipe for the YouTube channel as a trigger from a public video upload. That's fine. You can add like triggers as well. Okay. Yes, is it possible to have one channel being used for both trigger actions? Yes. You can see right here. If we go back to IFTTT and we look at my recipes, guys, we'll see that this channel, I use this one IFTTT. This is my own, so I do a lot of testing in here too. But you can see I've got a bunch of Twitter recipes from Twitter SEO in here. I got Vimeo recipes. I use this for YouTube to syndicate YouTube videos from Semantic Mastery directly to my network properties. And now I just set up a couple like videos, or excuse me, like recipes, and it works too. It doesn't matter. You can. I don't know how many recipes I got in here. It's a bunch, but you can have pretty much, as far as I know, it's unlimited. All right. All right. Back to it. When building Tier 2 and Tier 3 links to our main blog URLs, playlist URLs, PRs, etc., in a video syndication network, is there a need, or should I drip feed these links over 30 days? So, like we would do for blog syndication network, a money website, to be safe. Personally, I'm not that worried about that. I'm going to let Hernan chime in on that because he's more of our mass link builder guy. I just hand that shit over to my link building manager and let him handle that. But as far as I know, in fact, I'm just going to let you answer that because Dedia handles all that stuff for me. What do you think, Hernan?
Yeah, well, I think that the way we are treating them, and it's working right now, is to treat them as a Tier 1 property. You know, since being a parasite and piggybacking on YouTube, domain authority, you have more permission from Google to be a bit more spammy. So those links that you will be built to your Tier 1 or your Tier 2, for example, main blog, playlist URLs, etc., you just want to build a handful of contextual backlinks to them, and then if you want to go back, if you want to go behind those with spam, you can do them because again, you don't want to burn those properties. You know what I mean?
So, but the velocity rate, if on at Tier 3, for example, okay, so Tier 1, let's say a press release that's pointed to your money site, on if you want to build links to that press release would be Tier 1 at that point. Yep. So if you want to build links to that, then you would do like 100, maybe 125 links over the course of about 30 days. You still kind of want to drip that out, or do you want to do that quickly? Doesn't matter.
Well, it doesn't really matter, Bradley, because at the end of the day, you know, they are just a handful of links, and then, you know, we are usually doing in a space of 7 days. You know, with a good GSA installation, you can do them in a couple of hours, actually. In fact, you can do 10,000, 20,000 backlinks in a matter of 24 hours, even less. Now, what you want to do is to, you know, I usually just build the links until I reach that threshold, and then I come with a Tier 3 on this example with 5,000, 10,000 links, and I don't care about the velocity.
Okay.
Because remember, guys, that Google will not all of those links, you know.
Right.
So it's the way I do it, and it has been working well for me.
So the short answer then would be, if you're linking to Tier 1 properties, you know, don't do more than, you know, 100 to 150 links roughly to that tier, and you could do that in a span of about 7 days. But then you can throw the kitchen sink at those.
Yes.
Anything beyond that, and you don't really have to worry about velocity.
That's right.
Okay. Thank you. Number 4, Facebook token issue. See attached screenshot. I saw that. It says token needs to be refreshed. I have no idea. To be honest, I haven't seen that. I see your picture up here, Ed. I would contact either Facebook, the fb.-rss, or contact Facebook about that because it's something I haven't seen before. So I can't really help you on that. It says if you just reauthorize it, it should, and maybe that's the issue you're having, but I would contact them. I certainly can't. I'm not a developer for them, so I certainly can't answer that. Sorry for your trouble, but I haven't seen that yet. So, can we also grab Twitter and G+ related content feeds from sites and use them in your Splice feed? Sure, you can. Of course, you can. In fact, inside of IFTTT SEO Academy today, I posted a pretty cool little tool that I hadn't tested much, but apparently it works because the guy, Tim, I think his name is, said he tested it. It's called queryfeed.net. You can create Twitter feeds from this. And that's something else that you can use. It's got a Google Plus feed and a Facebook feed, supposedly. So I haven't tested for any of them other than I have tested with Twitter, but I haven't tested with the others, and apparently it works. So let me drop this on the page real quick. We got to keep moving. This is queryfeed.net. All right, can you go over how we make sure an attribution link back to the source when doing the splice feeds juice up to Blender? Yeah, that's all in the training, Ed. If you're doing, that's why I don't use splice feeds, Ed. We do separate triggers for each content source. It's a separate trigger, and we talked about this before in another Hump Day Hangout when you asked that you're confusing Advanced RSS Academy with IFTTT SEO and the spliced feeds, excuse me, the additional content feeds. You don't want to splice feeds for your networks because you need to be able to provide attribution. So you do individual triggers, and when you set up the individual recipe, then you can code the attribution in IFTTT. I can't walk through that right now because we're going way long on this question. We got to keep moving. But we covered that before. That's you don't want to splice feeds for your IFTTT networks. That's specifically for advanced RSS syndication, which is just submitting to directories and aggregators. That's it. Okay? And again, that stuff is covered. Go to the Advanced Strategy webinar number 3, and it's like the first half an hour of that webinar is specifically about that. An ETA on IFTTT, and will existing members be getting a break on it when launched? That's a post inside the Facebook group, right? Didn't you add a post on? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, we're supposed to be launching that at the end of February or the first week in March. It's going to be around that time. Yes, existing members will be getting a break. We're going to do something for all existing members, something special for you guys. But yeah. Okay. Michael, this is a long bunch of backs history. I'm not going to read all this out loud, guys. I'm just going to scan it real quick and then answer the questions. So if you guys want to sing show tunes...
In the meantime, I'll talk to Hernan about something. No, actually, I was going to say, if you guys haven't checked out the podcast, go over to iTunes and check out Semantic Mastery. We're going to start tagging people. We do answer questions. Me and Hernan generally do the podcast on Thursdays after Hump Day Hangouts and either pick a good question from there or go over some additional information that perhaps wasn't covered. So if you guys are into that, or I'm a podcast person, so it's nice to have a quick one, and we're keeping it to I think our longest one is 15 minutes.
Yeah, they are short. They are short and to the point.
Yeah, so if you're looking for a long one, maybe skip it, but otherwise you can check it out and see if you like it. It's kind of like a weekly, just quick answer on something SEO or marketing related.
Yeah, we usually grab something that hasn't, or we dive into something that was really interesting for us of the Hump Day Hangout episode. We usually do it on Thursday unless Adam is running in the woods. Then we do it on Friday, and it's really it's really good. I mean, I like the format because we're question. It's like a Q&A and a dialogue between us two, and we have different backgrounds. So I think it's really valuable. So go ahead and check it out, guys.
Yeah, but just make sure, guys, it helps us if you subscribe to the podcast and also to please leave a review.
Yep. Yeah, and you got many options. If you're on iTunes, if you're using an iPad or an iPhone or something, by all means use that. Give us a rating, give us a review, and you can also, if you're just at your computer, you can look on SoundCloud or what's the other one? Stitcher, I think, is a big one. So
Stitcher Radio, yep.
All right. Michael has a question. I read it. He got his account flagged for spam, probably because a competitor was pissed that he was taking up all the, dominating with the videos, and that happens, Michael. Unfortunately, it's a pain in the ass. You can ask for reconsideration. However, if you were using like Hangout Millionaire or something like that, where it's a bunch of spam videos, I wouldn't even waste your time because they will not reapprove your channel, or they won't give you your channel back. They won't if it's a bunch of spam stuff. If it's a bunch of original videos, then yeah, you can actually ask for reconsideration, and it's kind of a process, but you can get it back. It's a bitch, but it can be done. So the question that he has is, what is your advice on how to protect our channels and our work? I'm thinking I don't want all my eggs in one YouTube channel basket, but the tiered IFTTT network can only be launched from one channel. That's not true. I mean, it is true. You can only have one IFTTT channel authorized one YouTube channel authorized within IFTTT as the trigger. However, if you have a channel that gets terminated or flagged, then all you have to do is go into IFTTT, go to channels, select YouTube, and authorize a new channel. All of your recipes that were created will stay intact, and all it will do is swap out the actual trigger channel. So it's very simple to swap out the YouTube channel with another one, and all of your networks can be triggered from the new channel just by authorizing the new channel instead of the other one. That's it. So you don't have to go through and create all new recipes and all that. You don't have to do any of that. Okay? Now, if you had any customization in the recipe ingredients area, like linking to the old channel, now you might have to go through and update that, which is what we teach because you want to have a link back to your channel. But still, it's a lot less work than having to create a whole new network and a whole bunch of new recipes. Okay, so yeah, the other thing is you can have I recommend that you have a few channels. You only need to have the one, the tiered network. You can have that same network. It's not the network that got flagged. It's the YouTube channel. So you could have other channels. I mean, if it happens, you just create another channel, and then you start uploading the videos to there. As far as backing them up, the best way to back up, I think Adam can speak on that because he backs ours up using Amazon something.
Yeah, there's no, and if I'm wrong on this, somebody please correct me because I've been keeping my eyes peeled for this because we obviously have quite a bit of video content. But if you're looking for a guide, I'll try to pull up something. But Real SEO, REEL SEO. They've got a bunch of good videos. They obviously do video SEO, and so there's no automatic way that I'm aware of to back up YouTube videos, which is crazy. But I guess they assume you're going to back up the original videos, which may be something you want to look into doing. But anyways, you can request an entire channel backup, but then that's going to involve you downloading chunks. So they basically give you a list. If you have hundreds of gigs of videos, you got to download them at, I think they're around 2 gigs a chunk, and then you've got to do something with those backups. So it can be pretty time consuming if you're backing up an entire channel.
Yeah, hire a VA to do it.
Then there's no good way to do an incremental backup. So let's say I back up semantic mastery channels today. I can't do like okay, give me a backup from this date to this date. I have to either do the whole thing again or find some software to download the videos, which is another option. I know there's a bunch of extensions in Firefox for downloading videos. Yeah. That may actually be your best bet. So.
Yeah, and again, you can hire a VA to do that, Michael. I don't suggest you do that yourself. Hire somebody from Upwork. You can pay them $3.50 an hour. Let them do that for you, and just create a cloud storage account that they can upload them to. Like we do. What is it? Amazon Glacier.
Yeah, I'm using Glacier, and then there's an interface client for that because I guess Glacier's kind of, or not guess, Glacier is kind of command line interface, which I'm not against, but it's not quick. So it's not like AWS type of stuff. So yeah, you can get some sort of client like that, or I mean, you can use Dropbox, whatever you got.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could even use S3 because remember, S3 charges you for bandwidth, which is actually viewing. Like if somebody's watching videos out of your S3 bucket, but the storage itself is cheap. So you know what I'm saying? Like you pay as far as I know, you get paid for bandwidth usage, but if your storage,
there might be some small storage. Either way, it's cheap.
Yes,
I mean,
it's very
Amazon.
cheap though.
I think we have several hundred gigs, and it's probably $1.50 a month.
Yeah.
So.
So again, that's what I would do is I would hire a VA to actually download your video. If you're using something like Hangout Millionaire that's creating the videos, and to be honest with you, Hangout Millionaire might even keep a copy of all the videos in a file, in a folder on your desktop. I just haven't ever dug through it to see. They probably do because they make them locally, right? The software, it's not. I don't think the videos aren't rendered in the cloud. They're rendered on your machine. So I mean, I don't know if that's what you're using. I don't know if he said he was using Hangout Millionaire or not, but if you're doing something that's creating the videos before it's uploading them or live streaming them, you can probably just have that folder uploaded wherever they're rendered and held within the software application before they're uploaded or live streamed, and just upload that folder. But if not, if it's doing it from a cloud app or whatever, then you could probably, like Adam just said, is just have somebody using a Firefox browser and downloading them and sending them to a cloud storage account. Okay.
Yeah, and if it's a small number of videos, you can download videos directly from your YouTube account.
Yeah.
But that's like a couple a day or a couple an hour. I honestly don't remember, but it's something like that.
How about 3 YouTube channels all connected to the network and spreading my uploads amongst them? Would I be safeguarding the possibility for another unfair attack in Google's unfair automatic application of penalties? No, not really, because somebody could report all 3 of your channels, and that you could end up having the same thing. You could do that, though. If you want to have one network and multiple channels being able to submit to the same network, you can, but you have to remember you can only have one YouTube channel per IFTTT account. You can have multiple IFTTT accounts connected to the same network, and therefore multiple YouTube channels. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. So if you got 3 YouTube channels and you want them all to post to the same network, you need 3 IFTTT accounts and 3 sets of recipes. Okay, you can totally do it. It's not a problem. You just have to make sure that you have 3 separate IFTTT accounts, 1 YouTube channel per IFTTT account, and then you have to set up the recipes 3 times in total. So if you've got 15 trigger recipes, you're going to have to do it a total of 45 times. But it can be done. So, all right, next. We're not getting very far today. Kevin says, I have a 7-month-old site that only has 4 pages ranking, but I may be forced to give those pages a parent page, which would change the URL path of the ranking pages. I did a test, and it looks like WordPress 301 to the old URL to the new URL path after giving the ranking pages a parent page. But now I am confused as to what will happen to my rankings. Will the old path continue to rank, or will the old lose its ranking and the new paths take over the rankings? Kevin, it shouldn't make a difference. When you 301 an old to a new, you will see a little bit of movement. It's going to happen. There's no way around it. But the old URL will disappear and the new one will take over. It's not there's an old page and now there's a new page. If you just changed your URL structure and WordPress automatically 301'd it for you, which I would still set up my own 301 just to be safe, because sometimes that doesn't work. WordPress, the automatic 301 doesn't work sometimes. So I would still set up my own 301, but it's not like you have an old page and a new page. That's not how it works. The old page is now just got a new URL. So Google will refresh its index and it will just display the new URL. That's it. Okay. You will see some dancing. There's no question. You always do. But and you might lose a little bit of the inbound juice. Like, for example, I know Moz was talking about Rand Fishkin was talking about how he 301'd. They changed their URL structure on a post that had been ranking #1 for several years, and they changed their URL structure because they thought there was no way it would ever hurt it because it had been #1 for many years, for like 2 or 3 years or something. And they changed the URL structure and 301'd it, and it dropped down to like #7. And so there is a little bit of a loss there through the 301. There's no question, and you will see some dancing, but you can get that back. And if that's what you need to do, that's what you need to do. Should I resubmit my sitemap to Google so they can see the new URL path? Yeah, I mean, you don't need to resubmit. Google should crawl it anyways, but you can always ping the URL, or just take the new URL and go over to the Google Submit tool and submit it directly to be indexed. And you could just leave it alone. Google will refresh its index depending on what type of industry it's in. Some industries take a couple weeks to refresh the index. Sometimes it'll refresh almost within hours. Another thing you can do is tweet the new URL out if you've got a Twitter account with any real activity. That'll get the bots crawling it. Something like, again, a la Twitter SEO. Like, that's something that Twitter is really powerful for helping stuff do that. But you can just go to the submit URL. Guys, just go to Google and search, what is it, Google submit URL or crawl URL. Right there, guys. Just go to Google submit URL, click on that button, and go submit your new URL. It's direct to Google's index. It's real easy. All right. Also, I'm curious if I should continue to build links to the ranking pages using the new URL paths, or do I have to wait for the site to settle before building new links? I mean, I wouldn't go crazy, but I mean, if you're already in the middle of some sort of link campaign or something like that, I mean, there's no reason not to. There's no reason not to. You can just build to the new URL. You don't need to continue building to the old URL because it's 301 anyways. Just build directly to the new one. Okay. Sky, I was thinking about doing an affiliate website with embedded tweets and embedded video playlists. Allowing comments seem like it would be good too, but how do you deal with trademark issues? For example, let's say you are promoting a weight loss product and you use embedded content on the website. I'm certain at some point a video retreat will mention a trademark which would violate the affiliate agreement, which potentially could be the least of your problems. Thoughts? Yeah, I mean, that's an issue. It could. If you, I don't know. It's not. as far as like if your affiliate agreement states that you're not allowed to mention other brand names, which that's pretty typical, then you'd have to be a bit more selective on how that content is posted on those pages. You don't want to do something that's like automatically triggered, because that could be a problem.
Well, you could, but it depends what you're doing. A lot of them you can have negative keywords, and so I would think it would usually just be like you can't use their brand name. So I could be wrong, but if you're promoting a product, usually that's the restriction. So you could do a negative keyword against like that brand or more.
I know, like for example, with like Ring Partner, which is a pay-per-call network, you're not allowed to mention. I actually had an account terminated because of that, because there was like in the massive amount of keywords that I generated to build an ATM site, a lead gadget site. There I accidentally left a brand name term in one of those 600 keywords that I had, so it built posts with the brand name for walk-in tubs, and I had my account terminated because of that. Like because it's specifically stated in the agreement that you weren't allowed to mention like jacuzzi tubs, for example, or bath fitter tubs or anything like that, because it was brand names. And I had a couple posts on my site, and they terminated my account. So
gotcha. Well, I guess if that's the case, then well, if you can do negative keywords, I'm just thinking like especially of Twitter or other ones like that. If you can do more than one, then you're okay. It's just a matter of getting them in there. And then as far as keyword research, you just gotta kind of be proficient with Excel. But yeah, you gotta pay attention to the terms of service. So.
Yep. Okay, Brian says, does adding Web 2.0 RSS feed such as Tumbler to another RSS feed burner or aggregator index your links any faster? Yeah, it can help. It doesn't hurt. That's what Advanced RSS Academy was all about inside of the IFTTT SEO training, Brian. It's about grabbing all your Web 2 feeds, splicing them with authority content feeds, and submitting them to aggregators and directories. So go review that again. Advanced RSS Academy inside of IFTTT SEO Academy. It's one of the bonus courses. Let's see. No video, no sound. Guys, just if that ever happens, just refresh the page. Google, and the replay always comes back fine. For whatever reason, Hangouts have been doing that recently. If it freezes up or you lose sound, just refresh the page. All right?
They're behind us. They're listening.
Yeah, they are. That's the Google revenge. James says, when logging into various Google accounts, YouTube, Webmaster Tools, etc., do you log in from proxies? If so, do you have dedicated proxy for each account, or does Google even care if you're logging into 200 accounts from one IP? I don't worry about it, James. Where I worry about it is in the account creation process. Once the account's created, I have literally thousands of accounts now, guys, and I just log in through my own IP. I just clear my cache and cookies. I run CCleaner. I make sure that Google is not in, like for example, if we go look at Firefox now, I have Yahoo set as my default search engine, and I always go to history, just like we teach in the training. I clear cache and cookies. I have my proxy tool add-on bar down here. I right-click there, remove ever cookie. Then I right-click and remove flash cookies. Now you'll see ever cookie or clear down here. Then I'll close the browser, run CCleaner. Then I'll open the browser again, and then I'll log in with my own IP. In fact, once I get my accounts back from my VAs that they've created for me, very quickly, within about 72 hours, that's what we suggest, is within 3 days, you log in with your own IP. Because that'll marry or bind your IP to that account so that you can access it again without it triggering re-verification. Again, guys, it's the account setup that requires a different IP. At least that's how it stands right now. It could be tomorrow that Google changes shit, and if you start logging in from the same IP, they start terminating accounts. I can't predict that, but for now it works. Thank God. So it's a good question, James. We get that a lot, actually. So. Sean Donahoe's plugin Backlink Commando, still a great reindexing option. Thanks. It is, Chick. We use that for indexing the Web 2s from our IFTTT networks because it will extract the post URLs via their RSS feeds automatically. We have a full, I don't know, Adam, if you grabbed that URL for the blog post about backlink indexing and using Backlink Commando, Backlinks Indexer. Here's one thing I need to talk about, though, very briefly. You got to remember there's a reindexing option in the Backlink Commando plugin where it will say, you can set it to every 30 days. It'll resubmit the URLs again, or every 45 days. guys, that sounds like a great idea, but what happens if you've got your IFTTT networks running through Backlink Commando, where, again, it extracts all the post URLs from all your network properties that provide an RSS feed, which is about 7 of them: Tumbler, WordPress, Blogger, Delicious, Digo, Instapaper, Pocket. Pocket has an RSS feed. All of the ones that have RSS feeds will extract the post URLs automatically and send them to Backlinks Indexer, and you can say, oh yeah, you know what, every 30 days I want it to resubmit to Backlinks Indexer, and that sounds great, and when you're first starting out you want that, right? The problem is, over time, you end up clogging up your Backlinks Indexer account. Like, I've got an enterprise account and it's 100% clogged. It processes, what is it, 5,000 links every day as an enterprise account or something like that, and I can't ever submit anything else to it because it's completely clogged, because I've got like literally dozens and dozens of networks submitting. And so I would suggest that if you're first starting out, keep track of where you've got Backlink Commando running on which blogs, and you can have multiple networks running through one Backlink Commando installation, but make sure that you go in and change the settings back down from, like, you know, every 30 days resubmitting to something like every 90 days, or just turn that option off to where it just submits them one time, because otherwise you're going to end up needing a huge Backlink Indexer account to be able to manage all those links, because it compounds over time because it keeps resubmitting them. So just keep that in mind. Either turn the resyndication or the resubmission option off, or just go back and change that to way out, you know, after you've got the results you wanted. Okay? Or just go into the Backlinks Commando plugin and clear the results, because it's not going to pull in old results. It will only, what it does is it will, when Backlinks Commando runs your RSS feed, if the RSS feed only shows the 10 most recent items, it's going to extract those 10 most recent items and put them into the queue. But then Backlinks Commando remembers those links. It doesn't, once it processes, it doesn't automatically delete them like the RSS feed does. Like, for example, if you have 10 links today and then you do 10 more posts, those original 10 links on your RSS feed are going to be gone because they've been pushed off the feed, because your feed only displays 10 items. But Backlinks Commando will keep them in the history, so in the database, and it will resubmit them if you tell it to. So another thing you could do is just go in like every 60 days or whatever and just delete all pending links or all links that are in the database, and that's an option inside of the plugin. Okay? Keith says, how carried away do you get when you set up personas to make them look real? Keith, check out our IFTTT SEO Academy training, and that will show you how what the great links that we go to make them look real. It's really important. We set up the profiles, the personas with the full bio and image, and we set up all the social profiles, connect all of them together, including Gravatar, About.me, things like that, what we call semantic hubs. We try to make them look as real as possible. They're all themed. And that's why we go to great lengths for that. Again, that's covered in the IFTTT SEO training in depth. So, Braulio says, "Hey guy, what's up, Braulio? First SEO joke this year. It's been a while since I've seen you. What do you guys use to keep track of the traffic that comes through a 301 redirect to a client? Would you use WordPress with the 301 redirect plugin and then measure the traffic there?" Yeah, that's what I do. I mean, you can just use a 301 redirect plugin. Most of them have click analytics, so you can do that. PrettyLink does all-in-one redirect. There's another one that I like that I've been using recently called WP Link Shield. That's a good one. It gives click analytics, so those are good. Let's see. He said, "Sorry, bro." Love it. You guys, I love that new Geico commercial with the bro. that is one of the funniest commercials on TV. I love that commercial. We only got a couple more minutes, guys. So
I think we did it.
All right, good timing then.
Boom.
2 minutes to spare.
It's just copy paste the place in software. Oh, look at that. That's cool. A downloader. A download playlist by playlist from YouTube. No matter how many videos, just copy paste the playlist. Nice. That's pretty cool. Thanks, Mosi. Thank you for that. That's it. Cool. We didn't skip over anything, did we?
I don't think we did.
No.
Okay. All right. Good. Sweet. All right, guys. Well, that was it for Hump Day Hangouts. I guess we will see. We don't have Mastermind or Masterclass this week. That's all next week. So I guess we'll just see everybody next week.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
Thanks, guys.
Take care.
Awesome. Have a good one, everyone.
Bye.